Well, why it is not working? Because we forget to close here the comments, right? So this, that we have to always remember, when we are opening the comments we have to close it, otherwise it behave the same that it did right now. Okay, now I will save. Now it should work. Okay, so now let's go to the web page, refresh it. So this paragraph and this paragraph should become now blue. Yes, you can see this paragraph and this paragraph now, because these two paragraphs belong to the class myPara, right? Okay, so this is how we can use class selector. Okay, now I will again comment it. Now this time I should properly remember how to comment. Okay, all right, now let's see the next type of selector, that is ID selector, which is again one of the very useful selector. So let's see how ID selector work. Well, we know that when we were using the element selector P, then all the paragraph color were changed. When we were using the class selector, then those paragraph text color change who belong to this class, right? Now if I want to change the text color of only one paragraph which is identified by its ID attribute, right? Suppose I want to change the text color of only this paragraph. How I will do? First I have to set its ID attribute equal to suppose para 2. Okay, so now this paragraph which is outside the division, paragraph 2, is having the unique ID para 2. Okay, so this paragraph is now uniquely identified within this page by para 2. So I want to apply the CSS rules to this para only. So how I will do? I will use the ID selector. So we know how we can use ID selector by using hash, then the name of the ID, that is para 2, and then simply we can apply the rules. So here text color is red, suppose. Okay, so let's see, I'll save it, and now I'll go to the web browser, and now when I refresh, since the ID para 2 is uniquely identified this paragraph, so this paragraph only become the red. So I will refresh it, and you can see this paragraph become red. Okay, so this is how you can use the ID selector. So before using ID selector or the class selector, you should note that first of all we have to specify the ID for the element, and similarly specify the class for the elements, right? Suppose for the case of let's see another selectors first. After the ID selectors, child selector. Okay, so suppose I want that the immediate child of a body, the immediate paragraph child, here in this example, let's see the same example, the immediate paragraph child of the body text color should become red. So how I will do that? Simply I will go to the internal style sheet here, and let us comment it first so that it should not be interpreted by the browser. Okay, and now I will use here what, the body, because this is the parent, and its child P text color should become red. Let's see what happened, right? If I refresh it, you can see the text color of first paragraph and the second paragraph become red, whereas the text color of the paragraph within the division is not become red. Why? Because the first para and second para is the only para those are the direct child of the body tag. So we can see here, this is the body tag, and under the body tag you can see there is direct child is p, this first para and this second para, whereas the paragraph third, which is inside the division, is inside the div, which is not a direct child of the body tag. So this p is a child of div, which is a child of body. Okay, so here we can see that the p's parent is div and div's parent is body, so body become the grandparent of p. Okay, or p become the grandchild of body. So this is how it works, right? Okay, now let's see the another selector, that is nth child selector. So let's see how it works. So I will use nth child. So let us first of all let us comment it, so it should not interpreted by the browser. Okay, now for the case of nth child, right? So let's see how it works. So suppose nth child means suppose here in the body having many child element, and this is the first child of the body, this is the second child, this is the third child, and this is how it works, right? So suppose I want to apply that this heading h2 color should text color should become red. So how I can do? Heading h2 is the second child of body, so how here we can use body h2 that should be nth child, and that the value of a second. Okay, that text color should become red, suppose. Okay, so here whatever nth child are, they become red, their text color will become red. Suppose here h2, here at the value of n I have given 2, the second child, so h2 is the second child of body, so this heading 2 will become red. Then in division its second child is p, not h2, so this will not become red. So only heading 2, text of heading 2 will become red. So let's see, first save it and then go to the browser. Alright, so you can see the red, this heading 2 text color only become red. Okay, so suppose in place of second I want to put the first, and in place of h2 h1. So first child of any parent, so suppose body is a parent, its first child is h1, the parent having first child h1, only those h1 text color will become red. So here the parent is body, is having first child h1, so its color will become red. And similarly you can see, yes, here the division is a parent of child h1, which is the first child, so its heading color also will become red. So let's see whether it work or not. So go there and refresh it. You can see heading 1, which is the first child of body tag, and heading 3, which is the first child of div tag, both become red, right? So this is how the nth child selector work. Okay, now the multiple style rules we can apply to any elements, like here, sorry, multiple style rule. How we can apply? Suppose, let us comment it first. Okay, now suppose what I want this paragraph, all the paragraph should become its text should become blue, suppose. Okay, so how I will write? If I want to apply to the all the paragraph, then I'll simply put P and then color red. Okay, so this is a how we apply the CSS rule. So till now we have applied only one CSS rule. So what if we want to apply multiple CSS rules to the paragraph? How we can do? So we have to put the semicolon, and then we have to write the another CSS rule. Suppose what I want, all the background color of a paragraph should become yellow. So what I will do, after making the semicolon, I'll write here background color should become yellow. Okay, then again semicolon, and again here after semicolon I can write another CSS rule. So this is how we can apply more than one CSS rule to the any element, right? So let's see, I'll save it and I'll go to the web page, I'll refresh it, and you can see the first rule, its color, text color become red, and the second rule, its a background color will become yellow. So you can see here the both rule is applied to the elements, right? And the last one is a grouping selectors, right? So we can apply the CSS rules to the same CSS rule to more than one elements by simply using the comma. So we can for example here, let me first comment it so that it should not be interpreted by the browser. And now suppose what I want to make all the headings to be red. Okay, so how I can do? If I will write h1 and color red, then this CSS rule is applied only to the h1 heading. So we know that we are having h1 heading here and h1 heading, but apart from h1 heading I am having h2 heading also. What I want, all the heading, it doesn't matter, it should be h1, h2, h3, all the headings should be of color red. So how we'll do? We can simply make comma here and we can write h2. So what I have done, I have simply grouped the selectors, more than one selectors, and I want the paragraph color should also be red, so I will put comma and P. So this is how we can group the more than one selectors. Okay, so let's see, I'll save. So h1, h2 and para all will become red. So let's see, I'll refresh it and see h1, h2 and all the paragraph become red. So this is how it works. Okay, so this is all about the CSS selectors, right? And friends, after watching this video lecture, if you feel that it was really helpful to learn the concepts, then please like and subscribe the video, and feel free to comments or query if any. Thank you guys.